precious. Thank
Give
you.
it up again for Chris Belton.
It's a hot summer night. I'm 7 years old, and I can't sleep because I am so angry. I just spent the entire day with my next-door neighbor, Angie, catching fireflies, and we filled a jar with enough to light up a big room. And we agreed to take turns keeping the jar at night. But because she's taller than me and thinks she's the boss, she just took the jar from me and said she was keeping them, even after I won, rock, paper, scissors twice. So now I'm lying in my boring bedroom, staring at a dark ceiling, thinking about how she's over there watching this amazing light show. And friends are supposed to share, so she's no longer my friend. And after her family goes to church tomorrow, I'm gonna break in her house and get my fireflies back. Now I have the perfect view of Angie's house from my bedroom window. So after they leave, I carefully sneak around to their back door, jiggle the doorknob, and just walk in. You see, this was in the 1970s in a quiet suburb. People just weren't in the habit of locking their doors back then. So once inside, I'm walking around and I think, wow, these people are rich. They have so many things that I've only seen on The Price is Right. So I figure taking some of their precious valuables will be a much better payback. 60 seconds later, I'm running out of the door, juggling an automatic coffee maker, portable AM radio, and a softball trophy. Then I stash the loot in a big flowering bush in their backyard. The next day, I overhear Angie's mother talking to mine in the backyard. I look over my window and I can tell she's upset. She says, "I can't believe they took our coffee maker and radio." Wait till she finds out about the softball trophy. They were probably watching us. I was, just like your daughter was watching my fireflies all night. They must not have known my husband's a police detective. What? I back away from the window and think I'm going to jail. And over the next 2 weeks, I'm scared to leave my bedroom because every car that drives by looks like a police cruiser. Every dog that barks sounds like a trained canine. And every knock on the door, it feels like a raid. But then it gets worse. At least 30 people actually show up to search Angie's house. They're looking around the yard, checking under the porch with flashlights, using ladders to get up on the roof. And I knew it was only a matter of time before they found the evidence and traced my footsteps right back to my house, just like the Pink Panther. Terrified, I go to my father and confess everything. And with a confused look, he says, "So you really thought the police were over there searching their house?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I even heard a helicopter go by." And then he sighs, "Son, Angie's family decided to sell their house. Those were just the people looking to buy it." Oh. A month goes by and I'm finally off punishment. And Angie's family is gone. She's moved away. And now I regret getting so upset over the fireflies because as I look at the yard where we used to play, I realize I just lost my best friend. 35 years later, I'm a husband, father, and I'm living my childhood dream of working 8 hours a day in a cubicle. One day, I get a Facebook message and it breaks the monotony. It takes a minute for me to realize that it's my childhood friend Angie. We connect, and over the next 2 weeks, we catch up talking about our jobs, relationships, and kids. But the whole time, I want to talk about fireflies and unlocked doors. Part of me thinks this is stupid. You were 7 years old. But another part of me can't ignore what I've learned about the world since then. You see, growing up, We were one of the first black families to move into our predominantly white town. And this was in the 70s during the school busing riots in South Boston. The anger and fear from those events bled into the surrounding towns like mine. And here I was at 7 years old, reinforcing a very negative stereotype about racial integration. Knowing that my actions caused Angie's family to move away always made me feel like I had a rock in my stomach. So one sleepless night, I'm up thinking about it, and I decide to try to remove that rock. I write a long Facebook message filled with guilt and shame, and I send it to the one person I felt that was truly affected by my actions, Angie's now 70-year-old mother. I send it, she opens it, she reads it, but she doesn't respond. And now that rock in my stomach, it feels like an ulcer. 3 days later, I'm leaving work, and I get a response. Hi, Chris. I don't remember you ever stealing anything from us. I just remember you as a great kid who I liked very much. But since you remember it, it must be true. I completely forgive you. Please, don't waste another second thinking about it. And in that moment, I feel like I'm 7 years old again. And I'm back in my childhood bedroom holding that big jar of fireflies. But now I'm just really tired. So for the first time, I imagine what it would feel like to simply open the window, unscrew the lid, and just watch them go. That night, the little boy who still lives somewhere inside of me slept so well. Thank you.